Can you say Amy Cella? Can you say Amy Cella in Italian?
I can't.
Okay.
Saying Amy Cella is saying it in Italian, isn't it?
I think
You
so.
can say it. Try. Try.
Amy Cella.
I don't think I've ever heard my name. Wait, I'm trying to get my video on. Hakma and Amy Cella.
Chachma
The
of Amy Cella.
of Amy Cella.
Okay,
Isn't it Amy Cella? No, it was something else. Sorry, I got that. Yeah.
Amy Cella.
Yeah,
That would
there
be
you go.
in Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there's so much, which, I mean, like going to certainty and everything is a family system. Okay, there's so much. But Hakma, okay, so Pep, count to 4 in Russian one more time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When you did that, I was like, what?
You just put it back there. That's all you
Yeah.
have to
No,
do.
I tried it. I tried it. Trust me.
I don't know.
And
When
I sounded like I was swallowing my tongue.
Okay, so I was going to do this play, and this won't be a long story, but I'd never had a Russian accent before. I was really nervous about it. They bring this guy in, and it was like when he said, told me that trick. He said, just say, okay, say 1, 2, 3, 4 like you normally would, and you feel it in the front of your mouth. He said, now put it back in your throat, and I was like, oh, okay,
Wow.
And it totally worked.
yeah.
Was he Russian?
No, he was just like he was a master dialect guy. I mean, he could do any dialect. He was fantastic.
Wow.
Can't remember. Yeah, I'd love to be able to say his name right now, but I can't remember it. No,
So-
but I can't pronounce it. It would have been funnier.
You can remember it, but you
That
can't
would have been
pronounce
funnier.
it.
Yeah, because he was a
David
dialect
Jones.
coach. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, language totally makes us slowing down. But then that makes me think of Pep, your story. I'm with Curt. I've heard that story a bunch
nauseam.
of times, and every time you get to the part where, like, no, when you start saying I was acting as if I had taken the stairs, and then when she says, "What happened to the elevator?" Every time. Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh. But then you said, Pep, too, you said, I could have gotten the lines down in no time. But it took longer to do the practice that you did. But that to me is also, that's slowing down. Like
Right.
this, like,
Right. Well, I think, Amy, you've really put your finger on this notion that we often think about, when I think about acquiring wisdom, I think I just need to get the lines down.
yeah.
I just need to know the lines. Like again, that's equated with like the basic information that I often think is just not just the most important, but it's the only thing that's important.
Right.
And I discount the role, for instance, that my body plays in being the vehicle of wisdom.
Yeah.
Kind of like that 8-year-old boy's father who comes into his bedroom.
Gosh.
Like the dad's body becomes the vehicle of wisdom.
It's great.
Even speaking to his wife, who's working with, who knows that if they just went in chop, like it would have ended up taking a lot longer to get this kid to bed than it did. So.
Yeah. And Curt, you mentioned like it's generally fear-based that we move quickly. And and also I thought, okay, it's the illusion. Sometimes I'll feel like I have to say all that I want to say because I think I'll be more heard or more will be accomplished. It's not necessarily true.
No. I think this what for me has felt like a new revelation about the scriptures being written by those who wrote them. They didn't write them to deliver information that their readers could take in and just metabolize quickly. No, they were written with the understanding that this is a lifetime of revisitation. We're becoming deeper and deeper and deeper people of wisdom, deeper and deeper people of receptivity to love. And that, as it turns out, it's entirely likely that God is far more interested in being with us in that process than he is about measuring benchmarks about how far we've come in our growth. Which is not an easy pill for us to swallow. I'd like the benchmark because in some respects, I have two things. Then I know that, I can give my shame attendant, and now he can fully retire because I've done everything I can do. And as well, this notion that I no longer have to worry about whether or not somebody's going to love me in the future. Am I going to be loved? Yeah.
Yeah. And then one more thing, the neurons firing and the transition. Okay, so, understanding what's happening is helpful. And a friend of mine he told me some news that was shocking. And he was telling me the news, and then he was continuing to talk, and I had to stop him because I was like, I need a hot minute.
Right.
Give me a hot minute.
Yeah.
But there was shame right there saying, why are you reacting so, why is this hitting you so hard? You got to get it together. And it was like my neurons, if I can picture my little neurons with love, and they were like, wait a minute, just, I need to process it. So just having words and an understanding of what's happening is super helpful.
Yeah. It's a really common thing. This happens in the office frequently. A patient is telling their story, and the story that they're telling is known to them, and they have learned to tell it in the way that where I'm going with this. They relay something about their story that is just beyond, how's that possible? And they're telling it, and they give you the piece of information, and they just keep going. And what's often striking to me is that when I say, excuse me, wait. Did I hear you just say that, fill in the blank? And they said, yeah. And I said, that just sounds awful. And you watch as they tentatively make room.
Entertain the idea.
For their own shift of state of mind into that space of grief for the thing that they just named but have just flown by at 10,000 feet. And they start to feel things that are with them all the time anyway, but that they are burning energy to contain and to seal over. And all the energy, and so it is a state of mind that they have been avoiding. Because it's way too painful. Because their experience is that if I drop into that trough, I will be there alone.
Right. And oftentimes this is unconscious. This is not.
Of course, it's automatic, right? They've worked really hard to stay out of that, out of that state of mind, without recognizing that, first of all, they're burning all this energy, that there's all this pain and so forth and so on, but also they don't recognize yet that wisdom is to be found in that space. They haven't yet had the practice or experience of being loved in that particular grief. Their mind, brain, body, soul matrix does not yet believe that God is in that space waiting for them because they've been working so hard to seal over that particular state of mind. And if we think that wisdom is simply, again, the acquisition of information, as opposed to it is also the accumulation of the experiences of being loved in the middle of our grief, we shortchange it. Because when we allow ourselves to be loved, to be seen, soothed, safe, secure, in these spaces of grief that we carry. It, over time, makes it possible for us to be channels of that same love for other people in their grief, because we are now unafraid of it, because we know what it's like to be in grief and be okay, because someone has come for us to be that. And that's how we then, someone comes to us and they're like, this horrible thing just happened, and you don't immediately give them all kinds of pearls of wisdom about what to do. Instead, you simply are with them. And later, they will talk about how they can't express enough how grateful they are for your wisdom. Because we are so primed to think it's just about what I know.
Oof. And that is where the beauty lies, because then, oof.
Yeah, right on.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you for today.
It was great.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Till
Till
next time.
next time.